back at you again for another preview video where we'll be looking on Arsenal taking on Benfica in the Europa League. And as some of you guys might be well aware that the game will be taking place in Rome in a neutral venue due to sort of COVID situation. But before we sort of start, I thought there were a few stats, or maybe this one particular stat I wanted to share, which are quite sort of concerning alarms for us as Arsenal fans. So it's this one here. Arsenal have faced 5 different Portuguese opponents in European competition and beaten them all. And that's including Sporting, Porto, Braga, and Victoria Guimarães, which we played last season in the Europa. And we beat them all apart from Benfica with 1 loss and a draw. And that was back in 91 and 92 in the European Cup, where they beat us 4-2 in aggregate. Even though that's such a long way away, hopefully it's not over our heads and we can go out come Thursday and next week and put in a decent performance and knock them out the competition and progress. But in terms of the Europa League, and I did mention it in my last video, I think this is our best avenue of getting back into the Champions League, as I realistically don't believe there's any option in terms of the league position, because we just are far too away from the 4th spot, and we've just got so many variables. We have to rely on other teams, playing really bad. So I just can't see that happening. Whereas in the Europa, we've got more of a control, and I just think Mikel Arteta comes across more of a cup manager than a league manager. I think, over a leg or two, he can sort of pull out results. Whereas if he was to sustain a long period of decent performances, I think that's where he fails. So, as I've said, this is our best avenue, and I would like to just sort of go through some of the games that's still within the Europa League and just look at our tough opponents. I think what I'm going to do is go through each game, and in terms of each game, determine my winner from that game, and then I would want to sort of review whether that team there is potentially better than us, and do they have a better chance of winning the Europa League, if that makes sense. If not, maybe when I go through all of this exercise, it might start making more sense. So, first game, and of course it has to be those lot down the road. Wolfsburg v Tottenham. I think that's going to be a Spurs win. And in terms of Tottenham and us, I think they have a better opportunity of winning the Europa League than us. As much as it burns me to say this, I'm just going to have to be honest. And I just have a feeling Mourinho is going to win some sort of cup with him, even though he's going to be, bad for him in the long run, going to leave him in a mess. I just feel as if something inside me, which it pains me to think this, they're going to win some sort of cup this season. And hopefully it's not the Europa League. Hopefully it's not. But as I said, Tottenham will be seen as, more likely to win this than us. Moving on to the next game, Dynamo Kiev and Club Brugge. I'm going to have to go with Kiev, and I think, to be fair, if I was to put Arsenal up against Kiev, I think we have a better opportunity of winning the Europa. Next game, Real Sociedad and Manchester United, who have, of course, fallen into the Europa from finishing third in their group, which they thought, they had an easy run in, initially beating PSG and beating Leipzig. And now they find themselves in Europa. Welcome, United fans. Nice to have you guys back. But in terms of this game here, I'm going to go with a comfortable United win. And we have to be real. United are more of a favourite for, to win this tournament than we are. So that's already 2 teams. We've got United and Spurs, who have a better chance of winning this than us. Benfica and Arsenal, this is what this whole video is about. So we're not going to really cover that. AC Milan. And this is I'm not going to pronounce it. Cervena Zvezda. Sounds like some sort of character you find in Zelda. I'm going to go with Milan. And if I'm honest with you, I think we are on par with Milan. I know they're killing it currently in Syria. They're having a much better performance this season, and they've got big game players. And the introduction of Ibrahimovic has made a massive, he's even though technically he's still past it, he has that massive influence and that massive aura around the dressing room. But if I'm going to be honest with you, I would personally think that we have a better opportunity than AC Milan to win this tournament. So we are still going to have United and Spurs who are potentially favourites than us. So in terms of Antwerp and Rangers, I'm going to go with a Rangers win. I have a sneaky feeling Steven Gerrard will do it again and Rangers will progress pretty far in this competition. However, I don't think neither team are, you know, more of a favourite than we are. So that still leaves United and Spurs. Leicester and Slavia Praha. I'm gonna go with a Leicester win, and I'd say I would still prefer us over Leicester. And that's just because I think as if we've got a better pedigree in cup competitions, and so hence why I still feel as if only United and Spurs so far are more likely favourites. Salzburg and Villarreal. Salzburg have been weakened with the sale of Dominic Szoboszlai, so with the likes of Patson Daka and Co, could I realistically think that they could do it? Nah, not really. So I'm gonna go with Villarreal win. So that should be comfortable for them. And I reckon Arsenal is better than Villarreal. Moving on swiftly, Braga Roma. Gonna go with a Roma win, and I believe that Arsenal squad is superior to Roma's. Um, Dynamo Zagreb over Krasnodar. I'm gonna go with Dynamo Zagreb. We've got Leverkusen. I picked them to beat Young Boys. Neither team are better than us. Hoffenheim, Molde. I'm going to go with Hoffenheim win. And I don't think Hoffenheim will trouble us at all. We've got Granada and Napoli. I'm going to go with a Napoli win. And from not last, was it last season's? Yeah, was it last season or the season before where we managed to beat Napoli in the semis or the quarterfinal? So I still feel as if we would overdo at Napoli and our squad's better overall. Tel Aviv or Shakhtar Donetsk? I'm gonna go with a Shakhtar Donetsk win, and yeah, I don't think they will. They will ever dent our hopes of winning this competition. So moving on, Lille Ajax. I'm gonna go with a Lille win, and that's because overall I quite like Lille's team, and I can't remember where they are currently sat in Liga, but last time I checked, they were second or third, but that's going back in Jan. I'm gonna go with a Lille win, and I think they will just about edge Ajax, and I don't think either team really will worry us. Moving on, PSV and Olympiacos. I'm gonna go with a PSV win, and I don't think they'll worry us either. So, in terms of the teams mentioned, the two favourites I'd say are United, which is quite a clear favourite, and then Tottenham, who I'd say are slightly, would be considered more favourites than we are. So, really two massive teams. There are other teams which noticeable mention like the Italian clubs in Roma, in Napoli. Lille is another one to think about. AC Milan, which I mentioned. Ajax if they come through that. So Villarreal, but I'd say United and Spurs are probably the favourites. Moving on anyway to the formation, I would like to sort of see deployed against Benfica. I'm going to go with our similar structure that we've been playing recently. I'm going to go Bernd Leno in goal for obvious reasons. I think this is our main competition. I know we've got Matt Ryan who's in, but do we really want to play Matt Ryan here? I think if we had to flip a coin and reserve goalkeepers for energy level, then I'd rather see Matt Ryan play in the league and see Bernd Leno saved for the Europa, where we have a better chance of winning a silverware as well as qualifying for the Champions League. Moving on, I'm going to go with Cedric as right back. Same reasons I explained from last video. He's just a better right back than Bellerina, and he can actually cross the ball. So why have Bellerina as a right back if he, rarely crosses the ball, whereas Cedric does. So gone easy choice there with Cedric. Gonna go with Gabriel and David Luiz again. I just feel as if they have a better chemistry, and I just like seeing them better than seeing Rob Holding in that mix. Rob Holding and Gabriel don't work well, and neither does Rob Holding. And Rob Holding, David Luiz is not too bad. However, I don't want to see David Luiz in this squad beyond this season. And I'm hearing there are strong rumours that he will be provided an extension. And please, I am telling you this. If that were to happen, then fuck me. This whole process is one massive shamble, which I've been telling everyone. And it's just going to prove that with an extension of David Luiz. So I'm really, really hoping all those rumours are complete nonsense and that doesn't happen. Um, Moving on anyway. I don't need to explain why Bellerin is there. Because I've sort of mentioned it with Cedric being deployed on the right hand side. If Kieran Tierney is fit, and that's if he's 100% fit, then Tierney gets that. If not, then I don't want to see any. I don't want us to rush Tierney so he's out for another 3-4 months. Not worth it. Let's give him the time he needs and let him come back properly and stronger. Moving on to midfield. Likewise, I've not gone for Thomas Partey because I don't know the situation on his injury. There's not been any update. I know it's a bit of a scare, but he was sort of holding on to his hamstring. And from what I know, hamstrings take at least a few weeks to recover. So if it is a slight, muscle injury around the hamstring area, avoid. Don't play him. Let's just, proper get him back integrated to the team once he's done his sort of rehab, etc. But right now, let's not risk it and play Ceballos and Xhaka if Partey's not fit. I'm going to go with Martin Odegaard as our number 10, and that's because I feel as if he had a brilliant performance last time round, and I just feel as if Smith Rowe has played quite a lot of games. Let's give the kid some rest. He went from playing nothing to all of a sudden from December 26th playing pretty much every game. And I feel as if it's about time he has his rest. And if we need to bring him off the bench, then we will do. Moving up front, I've gone with Saka, and that's because you can't deny this kid, game time right now. He is currently hot property. Yeah, the best player currently in our squad. So for me, Saka gets in. And I know I'm going to sound hypocritical with mentioning Emil Smith Rowe needing a rest. And yes, Saka does need a rest. But with this fine form, why should we? And plus, his situation is quite different to Emil Smith Rowe because Smith Rowe hasn't played any game and hasn't featured for quite some time. And then, boom, he just started playing regularly. Whereas Saka has been a mainstay for quite a while. Moving on to the other wing, I'm going to go with Nicolas Pepe. And it was very, very unfortunate that he didn't play against Leeds United over the weekend. So I'm hoping Mikel Arteta plays him this game. And then, it's hard for me because I want to see Gabriel Martinelli play. And it pains for me not to play Martinelli. But then, can you really drop Pepe from after playing 3 great games and then 1 mediocre game, and then we're going to say you're dropped? Like, where's the fairness in that when other players around this squad can literally, week in, week out, play poor, piss poor, like a certain Willian who Arteta is completely obsessed with? Why does he get to play every game? He can be poor 6, 10 games consecutively. By the way, Willian has still failed to register a single shot on target in the Arsenal colours. Yet, he will still play. And then guys like Pepe and Martinelli are being made to sacrifice because of Mikel Arteta's, stupid decisions. No, Pepe needs to play. And I'm so sorry, Martinelli, but you need to come on second half, whether it be, up front centrally or replacing either Pepe or Saka. Martinelli needs game time. And I don't want to see, Willian come off the bench. And God forbid, if I do see Willian come off the bench, I might have to set up a GoFundMe page to get Mikel Arteta fly kicked out the stadium. Because it's just getting too much now. It's pissing me off. I can never ever celebrate a win because I have something to moan afterwards. So please do not give me reasons to moan and play that prick Willian. And I hate to call him a prick, but it's just my hate's building gradually because by no, it's not Willian's fault, it's Arteta's fault. But gradually, as fans, you are going to take it out on Willian, aren't you? Just like we took it out on Granit Xhaka when Emery played him week in, week out, and he wasn't playing well. And then you could hear the fans start jeering every time his name was put up for substitution. The same toxic relationship will develop with us and Willian if Arteta doesn't fucking take him out the limelight. It's simple, fam. Anyways, move on. Oba, mate, scored a hat trick, hit the post. Do I need to say anything? Laka, I love you, mate, but let's be real. You've never scored over 20 goals a season, and I've always said Aubameyang is our best striker in our team, even when we were on that bad patch. I never really went out my way to crucify him. Yes, I said he needs to improve, but I always knew, this guy is class. And what's that great saying they say? Class is permanent and form is temporary. And Aubameyang is a great example of that. Anyways, that's the team lineup I'd like to see. And in terms of comments from last video, let's get straight into that. So, Jimon Machete says, people underrate Bellerin. He was the best player in yesterday's game, so Sunday's game, and could make it in any team. Do you really believe Bellerina could make it into any team? I don't know if you're honestly being serious here or if you're trolling me. So is Bellerina better than Wan-Bissaka? Is Bellerina better than Tariq Lamptey? Is Bellerina better than Kyle Walker? Is Bellerina better than Trent Alexander-Arnold? You know what? A good question will be, forget who's better than Bellerina. Who is Bellerina better than in terms of right back position? Because I just can't. I don't know if you're actually being serious. You must be trolling me. Nah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry if you're honestly, genuinely serious there. But I can't take that comment serious. But thank you anyway for the comment. Steve Paul. Was about the obsession of Willian from Arteta. He said maybe Willian has been blackmailing Arteta to get minutes. Maybe Arteta was doing a William Saliba and Willian, videoed it and he's got dirts on Arteta and therefore he has to play him. Maybe, I don't know. Adam G, man, I've lost patience with this Willian situation. And then he quotes me by saying, do not do business with Chelsea. Agree, mate. Saka, by far our best player at the moment. Yeah. Willian, I mean, I don't want to talk about it. I really don't because I'm sounding like a very hateful guy here by constantly bashing Willian, but I don't mean to, but it's just frustrating, especially when you see him taking minutes over our future stars in Martinelli. Remember, I kept banging on about why doesn't Arteta play our young players? He never plays our young guns. He's too obsessed with Willian, too obsessed. And then come Chelsea, drops Willian. No, he didn't drop Willian. Apologies. Willian and Gabriel Magalhaes had that whole COVID situation, so they were ill and they couldn't play, right? And then he played Smith Rowe. And then guess what? Transformed our team. We look so much better. Created more. What do you think is going to happen by applying the same logic by playing Martinelli instead of Willian? Oh shit, that's right. Better performances. Now I've heard some. I don't want to say stupid. I was about to be rude and say stupid Arsenal fans, but I don't mean stupid. By less knowledgeable football fans who are telling me, well, don't complain. Willian was there to shore up the defense. Willian. So hold up. Willian is better than Martinelli defensively. If you believe that, then I urge you to watch Martinelli week in, week out. They call him Duracell Bunny for a reason, because he's running up and down, up and down, up and down. I can show you clips of Martinelli come last season in the 90th minute, chasing, hounding down players. Have you seen his pressing? Tell me when you see Willian do that. Martinelli is better going forward better defensively. He's just better than Willian at everything. He's a better Brazilian. Yeah, he probably speaks Portuguese better than Willian. He could probably, yeah, tomorrow open up a restaurant and it'll be more successful than Willian's shitty restaurant with David Luiz. Again, sorry, I'm doing it again. Too much into Willian. Pulls back and stop getting too emotional about this, but it just pisses me off, man. But anyways, thanks for the love, Adam. Emma Boyle, nah, get rid of Ceballos, too inconsistent, and getting Jack Grealish. Pay the money and get him an Arsenal shirt. Man, if we were to get Jack Grealish, wow, I can this club really be ambitious enough and fork out money for Jack Grealish? If we can get Jack Grealish, then I don't know. I might have to, put out a statement there because I don't see that happening. But if we were to get him, definitely get his number. Might have to do some sort of bet there. But yeah, that would be a dream, Emma. Moving on. Sam Barry says Oba was fire. I would get Yves Basuma in, but could keep Ceballos. We need to stop playing Willian. What the fuck? You know what? Yves Basuma. Can you imagine Yves Basuma, Thomas Partey, and Jack Grealish ahead of him? And then you got the likes of Emil Smith Rowe who can come in and play. Yeah, I mean that sounds all delicious to me, but it's Arsenal, man. I hate trying to bring my hopes up because all they'll ever do is just bring me down again. We've got Tom Green saying Saka is unreal. Odegaard was good. The guy is going to leave, so I don't get gassed. William, man, let's blur out what you have to say there. He goes, agree on Oba, man of the match, sick game for him, and I hope this is him back on form. As I sort of mentioned previously, with Oba, as I keep saying, class is permanent, yeah? And he will prove himself. I have no doubt about that. As for Willian, whatever you blurred out there, 100% agreed, mate. And thank you guys for the comment section. But in terms of the game for Benfica, my score prediction will be a narrow 2-0 win to us. Yes, I'm going to go with a win for us. And as always, guys, thank you for the video. And if you could please like, subscribe, and let me know what your score predictions are for the game. Until next time, all the best, guys.